All right, welcome to the suit drafting class. We're going to start making our draft. This is our drafting paper. I have my marker. I have my French curve and my ruler. Then my tape. So at this point, we're going to start making our draft. Now, first and foremost, we're going to make out our box frame. A box frame is actually a box that contains all the suit patterns. That is from front, the middle part, and the back part of the suit. So all of them will be inside this box. So for you to get this box, the width of this box, here, you add 14 inches to your chest measurement, then divide it into 2. Our chest here is 40 inches, then plus 14, you can have 54, then divided by 2, you have 27 inches. So this 27, inside this 27 inches, we'll have our front pattern, our side pattern, and our back pattern. Then I'll mark the 27 inches. I'll mark it over here too. I'm going to connect the line. I'm just going to make a vertical line there. Sorry, horizontal line. Down. So the next thing is for us to get the length of our jacket, length of our suit. The length of our suit here is 30. We're going to add 1.5 inches to the 30, making it 31.5. Just pay close attention to this class. So add 31.5. And I'll connect the line vertically. At this point, take these few seconds to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Classic SOU Workshop, if you have not subscribed. Thank you. Then under this part, I'm going to add 1.5 inches for the folding allowance at the down part of the suit. Take note. The actual length, I added 1.5 inches. Then I'm adding another 1.5 inches for the folding allowance at the down part. So inside this box, everything is going to be inside here. So the first thing, we are going to get our chest line. We have 2 lines here, chest line and our tummy line. So for us to get the chest line, you divide your bicep. You can call it muscle, some call it round sleeve. Divide the measurement by 2, then add 2 inches. So our biceps here is 13.5. You divide by 2, it's going to give you 6.75. Then add 2 inches, it's going to give us 8.75. That's 8.75. Then you mark it down. Mark it from the top part. Then connect the line. So that becomes our chest line. So that has become our chest line. So mainly our drafting is going to start from back. We're going to start back. We're going to start from the back. Then at this point, measure 3/4 of an inch outside that, inside that line, just in 3/4 of an inch. So at that point, at that line, that is where our neck will start. That is where our neck will start. Pay close attention. Then our neck is going to be 3.5. The neck width is going to be 3.5 inches. So pay close attention. I started from that 3/4 of an inch I marked out. And I'll connect it. Then my neck depth is going to be 1.5. So I'll just make I'll connect it to get your neck. So this is your neck. This is your neck. Now, for us to get the front neck, whatever you have at your back neck, the width, you add 1.5 inches allowance to it. Now at this point, we have 3.5 at the back. We are going to add 1.5, making it 5 inches. So you take this, you mark this down to get a horizontal line from the top to the bottom of the suit. And this line is now our neck line. Let me make it to be bold. This line becomes our neck line. Our neckline. So the next thing we are going to measure now is our shoulder. Take note, we are going to start from the place our neck started. That is from that 3/4 of an inch. Our shoulder is 18. We're going to divide it by 2, 9, then add ½ inch allowance to it. Now from that point, you're going to measure 2.5 inches down for your shoulder slope. For your shoulder slant, rather. Now make my slant. Now at that point, that slant, take note of it. You have 6.5 there, 6.5 inches there. Then at this neckline at the front part, you're going to take 6 inches. You're going to measure 6 inches. Measure it down. You're going to connect all the points together. And this particular horizontal line is going to be our shoulder line. We call it our shoulder line. Connect them together down to the bottom part of it. Now this is our shoulder line. I'll mark out ½ inch at the top part of the front. Then I will connect the line. Then all my measurements is going to start from this ½ inch down. So that's to tell you that the front part, the back part of the suit is always longer than that of the front. So remember the 2.5 inches we had at the back, are going to connect it here too. Now as you can see, we have 6.5. We also have 6.5. So you make sure whenever you are doing it, make sure that the two shoulder line correspond. Now from here, I'm going to take my half length. My half length is 17.5. I'll take it from from that shoulder slant, from just there, half length is 17.5. I'm going to take note. I'll measure from here to know how many inches I have. Then I'll place it this side so that I can get a straight vertical line. So I'll connect the line across the box. Then this is our tummy line. Now from this point, I'm going to measure in 1 inch rather. 1 inch. Then from the place our neck started, I'm going to divide it into 2. I'm just going to make 2 equal parts. I have my midpoint there. I'm going to connect the line. I'm going to connect it at this point, then from this point to that place our neck started. So you see the 3/4 inches, 3/4 an inch we removed there. That is to also tell you that the back of the suit is not straight. It follows the body shape. So you connect this one to the edge of this part. So this is it. So when you want to make a single vent, this side is from the first line, you're going to mark 8 inches above, depending on the length of the suit you are making. Depending on some you take 9, some take 8, 7.5. So at this point will be your single vent for the suit. Now, as you can see, the paper is not up to 1.5 inches. It's not up to 1.5 inches. So make sure that whenever you're cutting, when you are cutting it at the material, you can now give the allowance on the material. So at this part, what our shoulder measurement, I'm going to divide it into 2, then minus 1 inch and measure at this bottom part. Then this tummy, the tummy part, I'm going to divide my tummy measurement by 6. For the sake of this suit, our tummy here is 36 inches. Then divided by 6, we are going to have 6 inches. Then add 0.5 to it. In total, we are going to be having 6.5 inches. That's 6.5 inches. So we take the measurement at the tummy part. So at this chest line, we're going to take our shoulder measurement, which is 18, divided by 2. We have 9 inches. So I'll mark 9, then I'll go in by ½ inch. So I'll go up by 1 inch, then I will now connect the inner one. Then I will now make my curve there. And I make my curve there. So I'm going to connect this line together. As you can see, our back pattern is almost ready. So this is our back. So at this point, I'm going to mark 3 inches. Then I'll mark 1.5. That is the half of the midpoint of it. Just take note of that place. Then let's come to the front part of it. We want to get the armhole of the front. So from this point, I'll mark 3 inches. Then I'll mark 1/2 inch in front of it. Then on this part, I'll come up with 1 inch. So at this point, I'm going to come down with 2 inches. At this point to 2 inches. So I'm going to connect the points together. Just pay close attention to this. This class might require you to watch it over and over again for you to understand it perfectly. Just pay close attention. If you follow what I'm doing here, you're going to get accurate suits. You're going to make it very well. So at this neckline, we're going to take in 3/4 of an inch. Then we'll connect it to the tummy line. So this is going to be our lapel break line. It's going to be our lapel break line. So our neck depth, 1.5 inches. Now at this point, depending on how you want your neck to fall, if you want it to fall well, if you want it to slant well, you can use 4.5. But for this sake, I'm going to use 4 inches here. So I will connect the line. Remember, we take out 3/4 of an inch up, then come down again and take out this 3/4 of an inch. Just mark it here so that we have a corresponding line with the neck and the lapel break line. You see that you can make a curve, small curve there to connect this part. At this point, we are done with the neck. So if you want to make a peak lapel, this is what you're going to do. You're going to connect this line to this point, and you have a kind of triangular shape. But for this sake, we're going to make a notch lapel on this. We're going to make a notch lapel on this. So this is our lapel. It's going to fall in. So we want to get the tummy at the front. At this point, I'll take in 1 inch for sewing and button allowance here. For sewing and button allowance. So from that 1 inch, that is where we're going to take our tummy measurement. So let's take note of what we have at the back. We have 6.5 inches. We're going to minus it from the front part of it. We're going to minus it from the front. Remember that our tummy is 36. Our tummy is 36. Now you divide it by 2, it will give you 18 inches. Minus it by the 6.5, the back, for the back tummy. Then add 2 inches to it. So that is how we are going to get our tummy for the front. As you can see, I've already minus the 6.5 inches. That's 6.5. I've removed it. So I have 18 there. Then I'm going to add 2 inches on it. So I will now connect this line to this and this. Remember when we take the 3 inches at the down part? So when I told you to take note of it, so that is for it. So this is my side, this is my back, and this is my front. At this point, we are going to make our vent. If you actually want to make the double vent, this part now is where you are going to take your double vent. Now 8 inches at this part, you take your 8 inches, then you connect your line. So 1.5 inch here, then we take 1.5 inch here. So this, we connect the line, connect this to this, and connect this to that. This drafting is actually going to be for dual purpose. I'm making it for single vent and also double vent. So whichever way I want to sew, I will now use it. So I'll come to this part to get my chest pocket. I'll mark 1 inch here. Then my chest pocket is going to be 4 inches. So I'll make my chest pocket there. So this is my chest pocket. So I want to get my pocket. I'm going to take 19 inches from depending on the length of the jacket you are making. If it is longer than this one, you can take 20, but for this one I'm going to take 19 inches. There I'll make the line. So this is my pocket line. This is my pocket line. Now I want to create my side darts. To create my side dart on this part, then at this down part, mark out 1.5 inches. Now at this point, take out 1/2 inch. So I'm going to connect the two lines. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. At this point, we are going to take 3/4 inch into 2 places. Sorry, 3/4 inch into 2 places. So this line is supposed to connect to the first 3/4. Just pay attention. This line, yes, connecting to the first 3/4. This one now is wrong. Now I'm going to connect this to the 1/2 inch we have up. Okay. Now the second 3/4 I measure, the second 3/4 inch I measure, I'm going to connect it also from that 1/2 inch to the 1/2 inch rather. Then from this point, from that point the line intersects with the pocket line. I am going to connect this other one too. I'm going to connect this. So this is my side dart. Please just take note of this and follow it accordingly when you are doing it. See the line stop there, then the first one goes up, this one follow like this and still go up and meet 1/2 inch. So that is it. I'm going to take note of midpoint of my pocket, which is 2 inches. So that 2 inches, I'm going to draw it straight to meet the pocket. At this point, I want to create my front dart. At this point, from my chest line, I'll take in 3.5 inches. At this point, I'm going to take 3/4 of an inch. And I'll come in by 4 inches. I'm going to draw the line straight up. I'm going to draw the one straight up. Then I will connect it to this point. Connect it to the point. So this is how my pocket will form. At the ending part of this, I'm going to correct something with it. That just pay close attention. Just pay close attention. So at this down part, however you want your curve to be, for me, I'll take 2 inches from here. Then I'll connect it to the tummy line. So that is how I want my curve to be at the down part of it. Then from here, I can take 1 inch inside, 1 inch. Then I will take 1/2 inch up. So that is where my curve will fall. So this is it. You can create a very sharp curve there. At this point, we are done with our drafting. We have the front part of it. This is the front. We have the side. We have the back. So let's cut it out. Like I said, I'm making this draft for two purposes. If you are cutting direct from the fabric, take note you are going to leave 1/2 inch at this back for the joining allowance. For the fact I'm cutting from the drafting paper, I'll just cut it off. When I'm placing it on the fabric, I can bring out the 1/2 inch at the back. So we've cut out the back. Just like I said, I'm making this for two purposes, single vent and double vent. So any one I want to use, I will use it. So when you are cutting it to the fabric, make sure you have up to 1.5 inches and connect it. Two of them must be. Remember that back is not that straight, it's slanted. I'll cut off this side. This is my vent too. This is my vent for the double vent. So however you want your lapel to be, you can make a little curve from this point. Make a little curve and curve it. So you see the curving. So just take note of this, that I'm going to draw it down to this pocket line. I noticed that the marker I used made this to be so big. So I just need 1/4 of this. 1/4, not just 1.2, sorry, 0.2. 0.2. Just want my dart to be, it will be as tiny as possible, not that too big. It will not be up to half inch rather. Then I'll connect it just like as I did. Then I'll connect it. So we are going to ignore the red mark. We are going to ignore the red mark and follow the biro. Please take note of this. All right, we are only, I believe this marker made this to be big enough. From the pocket is where we have our dart. Then I'm going to cut this off. Then I'll trim this one off. And I'll open this side. I'll open my pocket line to the point we have our darts. Then I'll cut it up at the middle. It stops somewhere here. So I'm okay there. So when we are sewing, we're going to sew it in like this. After that, we're gonna trim off this. We'll just trim off this part. So that will be on the fabric when we are doing the sewing. Okay, at this point, make a small notch at this chest line. We actually made a mistake here. I made a mistake here. I made a very small mistake here. So pay attention. Let's correct it. Just pay attention. Let's correct it. That 1 inch we give up is supposed to come up. I'm not supposed to cut it off. So I now have to add another paper down so that I can correct that mistake. I'll take this line up to that 1 inch, then connect it. Please, this is I don't know what I was thinking actually, so just sorry for this. Then cut it. Okay, we are here now. Yeah, now please just take note of this correction. Please, I'm very sorry for this correction, for the mistake actually. So after cutting, you're going to place all your pattern together, then to take note of your armhole. You see the line correspond. The side and the back also correspond with the front too. Now at this point, you're going to leave ½ inch up. Then you take note of your armhole. Measure your armhole. So at this point, you are still going to leave ½ inch for the sewing allowance. So just take note of your armhole. All right, we are done for this. We are done with this class. You can watch this over and over again for you to be able to know and master how to make this suit draft. Then we will now move on to cutting the sleeve part of it. Thank you so much for watching.